Welcome back. Time now for news from the left. CNN's Jake Tapper with yet another beauty. Take a listen.
If you go to Kevin McCarthy's Twitter page right now, his pinned tweet, the tweet he wants everyone to see, I'm going to, hold on one second, let's watch this. His pinned tweet is about Hunter Biden. That's the point I wanted to make. Like, he's all in on this MAGA business.
He's all in on this MAGA business, like credible allegations of corruption against the sitting president that he himself refuses to cover because he's completely in bed with the DNC. How embarrassing it must be for Jake Tapper, who considered himself a newsman. We talked to Tony Bobulinski. He said he's been begging to go on Tapper's show, and Tapper will not let him come on, even though he has valid, verifiable information about the corruption of the sitting president. MAGA business. So investigating corruption in the Democrat Party is now MAGA. You see how it works. Next up, Joy Reid and not too bright new guy Maxwell Frost from Florida talking about Ron DeSantis.
I'll tell you this, our governor is more concerned with children going to drag shows than he is with children getting shot in their classrooms, than people getting shot on the street. And it shows the hypocrisy. I mean, look, due to his failures to provide for working class people, he's scapegoating vulnerable communities. You can't afford your rent, it's the problem of drag queens. You can't afford this, it's the problem of our LGBTQ plus community.
Just so you know, that's the same guy who couldn't get an apartment in Washington, D.C. because his credit score was so bad. And he's bashing a state and a governor that liberals are fleeing to because people like Maxwell Frost are so awful at governing their own blue states. Maxwell Frost, the new Florida Democrat, right there, bashing Ron DeSantis desperately as hundreds of thousands of people leave places like California, Illinois, New York to move to Florida. Right. Finally, Pete Buttigieg, again in the hot seat. According to Newsweek, Delta is looking into a pilot that blamed Pete Buttigieg for flight problems and did it right over the intercom in the announcement to passengers while the plane was grounded. It happened yesterday as flights across Florida were grounded due to multiple air traffic control system issues. The issues in Florida caused delays all over the country. It comes after a disastrous couple weeks of travel after that big blast of cold hell came in from Canada and froze the whole country. Southwest Airlines still recovering from the issues that they had. Pete Buttigieg again finds himself to be feckless at the time when the country needs the transportation secretary. I mean, we've needed him a few times. We had the supply chain issues and he was nursing or something. I don't know what he was doing, but finally tonight, some perspective. Strange times today as a small group of Republicans sent a loud message to the establishment. We watched one of them, Arizona Congressman Paul Gosar, who, if you know anything about him, is the last person you'd ever expect to be sitting in that seat right there, chatting it up with AOC. These are as far apart as politicians can possibly get. That is the far left, that is the far right, and they're sitting there chatting it up like they're old friends, and they seem to be in complete agreement. It has got to be the wildest video we saw today. Gosar actually responded on Twitter to the conversation because everybody was talking about it. He said, we actually talked about the problem of the prior speakerships having too much authority and thus minimizing each member's potential contribution to the House debate. Paul Gosar and AOC chatting it up. Weird, wild stuff, as they say. Matt Gaetz was also seen talking to AOC earlier today. And again, if AOC doesn't leave her boyfriend for Elon Musk, maybe Gaetz has got a chance. I don't know. I think Gaetz is married, though. It seemed to be a bit of a quicker conversation, but the point remains. It's the twilight zone over there. Let's pull the Gosar video up just one more time, just so you can see it. It's just astonishing to watch. I mean, when I think of how different ideologically they are, do we have it? Do we still have it there? Yeah, there you go. Paul Gosar and AOC chatting it up. All right, this all goes again tomorrow. We still don't have a House Speaker as they go back into session. It fires up at noon, and we'll see what they can make happen as Kevin McCarthy tries to be the House Speaker. I don't know who else it would be. They say Jim Jordan doesn't want the job. He wants to do his other job. So it's got to be McCarthy, it sounds like. Eric Bolling is coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow.